Welcome back to Magnificently Black. We have been on vacation. We are glad that you are here to join us today. On today's episode, we'll be talking about self-love and Black women's hobbies and just what we like to do as women and just being people. So, Jennifer, what's some of the things that you think when you first talk about self-love? What's the first thing that comes to your mind?
For me, it would be relaxing, taking some time for me, for things that I like to do. Some of that may be care as in body care. Um, it also might mean just, mentally going to a place that is non-work related. So
Yeah.
there's several ways, you can have self-love, self-care. I think for me, loving myself, because I tend to
Mhm.
sometimes gravitate towards what someone else wants to see in me, right? We
Yeah,
always gear
definitely.
towards, somebody else. Whereas now I'm taking the time to say, hey, what does Jennifer want to do? How does Jennifer feel today, right?
I like
Focusing
that.
more on that.
Yeah,
What
I
about you?
agree. I agree. So for me, self-love is loving yourself and just taking care of your mental and also your mental and heart, maybe, and enjoying what brings you solitude and just knowing that, hey, yes, I'm happy by myself and with other people. So, like you said,
Mm-hmm.
like being sometimes being around family can also bring you peace and love as well. But for me, I like doing like music and doing
Yeah.
like when you said like the bath, like sitting in a nice bathtub, lights off, candles lit, having
Yeah.
music, or sometimes even like going to a spa. That's one of the
Mhm.
things I really like as well. So, what's some of the things that you think when self love? What are some of the things that you have been doing lately to give yourself that?
I think for right now, I've been doing a whole lot of running, and
Mhm.
I've been doing that outside. Before, I used to do it inside on the treadmill. And now that it's become good weather, I like going outside, just being outside, hearing nature. Sometimes I'll go without my earbuds and I just run
Mhm.
without them. At first, I thought I need earbuds to be able to get through this run.
Yeah.
One day my earpods went dead,
Uh-huh.
so I said, well, I have to just run without these. I don't have no choice. And it actually was a pretty good run. I had no problems in keeping up the pace even without the music. So I think running, also, talking with someone. Like, I like to
Yeah.
talk with someone who'll hear my side of things, right?
Hmm.
You live in this world, you're in relationships, you're in marriages where, you might have these misunderstandings, and just to have that conversation, just to be outside of your
Yeah.
day to day and just having a conversation with someone is always refreshing, right? You are
Definitely.
you think that you're not the bad guy when you're talking with somebody else, right? you're
and it's
just you're just talking.
and it's always like having someone, just another person to not even just bounce ideas off, just have somebody else sometimes to just listen to what you got to say and just be like, mm-hmm, girl, yeah, you
Yeah.
right. Like sometimes that does always help. That's like when you just say that, I'm like having someone else to talk to definitely does help, like having that for the friend outside of your relationship, or
Yeah.
like my best friend CJ's like he is just like the best friend that listens to everything, whether it is about work or about me listening to music or what's going on in the world. So definitely,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
definitely does help when
For
it comes to
sure.
that.
And people think, when you say self-love, people think of like spas and going on
Yeah.
vacations. So a lot of times it doesn't take money to have self-love. You can
Right?
find things that you can do independently or with a friend that doesn't require a whole lot of money. And we tend to think because we can't do these other things that you don't show yourself self-love. You can do that without taking a trip, to the Caribbean. You can
Yeah.
treat yourself in other ways.
Yeah, because a lot of times, like sometimes you could just go for a walk, like you said, by yourself, no
Mhm.
headphones, just listen to nature. Or
Yep.
like sometimes I'll go stand in the backyard. If you could just go stand in the backyard, give yourself 10 minutes to breathe
Yep.
and just breathe in and out. You every day you'll be like, okay, I can do this.
Mm-hmm.
That's some part of self-love too, is just taking a couple of minutes to yourself to just say like, you can pray, you can do whatever you need to do in those 10 minutes. You can have a dance party, all of that.
Yeah, yeah, you sure can. I mean, there's no limits to it. I think again, people tend to, see these advertisements on, oh, get away to this wonderful
Right.
island. It's not like that. I think, and that's why we don't take the time for ourselves. We think that it
Yeah.
has to be a certain way.
Hmm.
You can do these things, and if you make a habit of saying, okay, today's for me, or this 15 minutes is for me, you're gonna just, isolate and do what you need to do to make yourself happy without the advertisements that people
Yeah.
send out and make you think this is what you have to do in order to get self-love.
And see, that's the other thing is like I feel like today in society it is so much social media that plays a role in people's lives, and people are like, oh, well, they're going to go do this, so we should be able to do that as well. But it's like we have to also see that some people don't post every day. They don't post their day-to-day life all the time. And also
Mm-hmm.
it's like you have to find a lifestyle for you. Like you said, you don't have to do stuff that costs money.
Right.
Some of the best things you can do are free.
Mm-hmm. They
So
are. I think you would find more people, loving themselves and less stressed if they would stop putting a label on what
yeah.
self-love is, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Self-love is whatever you want it to be. It's not what other
Mhm.
people want it to be. And I had to learn that for myself, and maybe the hard way, right? I don't
Yeah.
take enough time to think about what Jennifer wants to do, or and not think about what people are wanting me to be. I think I spent majority of my life worried about what everybody else wanted me to be, right? Instead of
Yeah.
wanting to be what Jennifer wants to be. I
Yeah.
mean, we all know, even when we're young,
Yeah.
your personality is coming out when you're young, right? But then
Definitely.
when we meet someone or meet that significant other, they start steering you towards what they want. And
Yeah.
sometimes you lose yourself in between. And that's why I say, if you start now beginning to do self love, you won't care what someone else thinks about you. You're
Yeah.
going to take that time for yourself and be yourself.
Yeah, you will have that mentality of I could whatever they say, oh well, whatever. Be like, because what I tell the people, I'm like, take it with a grain of salt. Like
Yeah.
that is my mentality is whatever you have to say, if it's negative, I don't want to hear it. Whatever if
Mm-hmm.
it comes to me, I don't want to hear negativity. I
Right.
mean, it is a way to give positive feedback or
Mm-hmm.
anything like that, but negativity is not something that I'm willing to take into my space, into my area,
Mm-mm.
because I'm just
Mm-mm.
like, it's no need for that. We only have one life. We're gonna live it. We need to live our life.
Yeah,
And at
you
this
do.
point, I mean, it is just like do what you need to do. Like you said,
Yeah.
it's just you need to be who you want to be. If you want to be like go out and go what? Let's see. What's one thing? Oh, like Friday we went to see the Braves game. That was one of the things I would never like I would have never went to.
Mm-hmm.
But with going there, when I say I enjoyed myself and I felt like that was one of the best things to do. And that was self-love that someone gave me. So I felt
Yeah.
like that was that was like an
Yeah.
enjoyable moment for both
Yep.
of us. So that's why I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
it's like you said, self-love can come in many different forms.
Yeah.
Oh.
It definitely can. It definitely can. And you should surround yourself in trying to get to that space.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't, you're gonna have, a lot of stress. And as African American women, we tend to take on a whole lot,
Of
as far as
yeah.
family wise. And we care
Mm-hmm.
a lot about, our appearance and, what people, because we've had to work so hard to
Yeah.
get things and to get where we are, we tend to gravitate towards accepting or
Yep.
just going with the flow, or trying to do our best to stay above, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we don't take time for ourselves. We're focusing mainly on things like that. And I think it's a disservice if we don't learn how to love ourselves, know that we're
Yeah.
just as capable as everyone else, and have that mindset.
Because it's just like the way we treat ourselves is different because it's just
Mm-hmm.
like, yes, we are African American women, but in other cultures, women take time for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
They
Absolutely.
they take time for themselves. They're going to go get their nails done. They go out to eat. They go do this with their friends. Especially here, like I see here in Georgia, a lot of other cultures, they'll
Mm-hmm.
take time to go to like play golf and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
And it's women, it's not
Mm-hmm.
always men. So it's just like us as us as Black women should take time to do, whether it is a sport, you go to the gym. For
Mm-hmm.
me, look, for me, I like tech stuff. So like buying, like, okay, I bought a drone. So I've been practicing that. um or like another thing I like to do is doing workouts at the gym. That's
Yeah.
another like self-care love thing that I do.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. I mean, I even incorporate stuff like the chiropractor. I've
yeah.
been going to the chiropractor, getting adjusted. I
Mm.
had really bad back pain for a while because
Hmm.
after, having a child, I've had a lot of belly fat in that area.
Uh-huh.
And it's just put a strain on my lower back. So I've taken time where I went to several sessions to a chiropractor, and of course those sessions end because it's not covered under insurance, which is
And see,
surprising to me. It's like, to me, it's a medical thing. If your back is killing you and you have some issues, you should be able to use your insurance for that. So I had to come out of the pocket to get this chiropractor, and he is so great. And the sessions ended, but I still continue to try to go every other month and get adjusted because I feel like it's a benefit to me. I feel so much better after I come from the chiropractor. So it's mind, body, and soul when it comes to
hmm
self-care.
and see, when you said something about the chiropractor and going to do stuff like that, I'm like, I definitely agree. Because when I first moved here, I went to the chiropractor and I got adjusted, I think twice. And
Mm-hmm.
then now I'm like, okay, I think I need to get adjusted again. But what I've been doing at the gym, in between me going, I have been rolling out like with a foam
Yeah.
roller too, and that
Yep.
helps a lot as well. But
It does.
I'm still gonna go back to the chiropractor too. But
Yeah.
even just like if anyone knows, like rolling out at the gym is like you're using the foam roller. It's kind of like a breathing and just stretching movements,
Mm-hmm.
and that actually is very helpful when working out and just getting your mind together, because most of the time I listen to music, so it gets me ready for my workout, or I either do a pre-workout or a post-workout. So I'm like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
I'm calm, relaxed, my muscles are relaxed. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's
Yeah, runners use those rollers a lot too, because when you come back, your calf muscles and your legs up top is kind of tight, so they use those
mm-hmm.
foam rollers to roll them out. So, and sometimes they even go all the way up through the back area too.
Yeah,
I haven't found a roller that works well for me that I can get down there and actually roll it out well.
okay.
I need to find a good one. I haven't. Anybody have any recommendations? Please let us know, because I haven't found one yet that I like.
Because that's what I was gonna say. They got like what is it, at Dick's Sporting Goods? They had like they have the actual foam, and then they have like the ones that have like the indentations in it. The ones with the indentations kind of hurt a little bit more to
Uh,
me.
okay.
But uh I would say maybe try there because they have all like different kinds. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, anybody that's in the fitness world, let us know. Okay,
Yeah,
you could drop
for
a
sure.
comment. Um, just drop a comment, leave comments, and also you can subscribe on our YouTube channel. Also be like and subscribe, and this will also be posted on Jennifer's website as well. We'll give you all the details at the end of the podcast, or we'll post it on our YouTube channel. But
Yep.
this self-love to me is also having hobbies. As Black women, we
Mm.
should have hobbies and continue them as we grow, because as you grow, you're able to fund some of those hobbies a little bit more than
Yeah.
what you may have had like before. Because like
Yep.
I'll say like for technology, like for pictures, remember in other episodes I talked about taking pictures and being a photographer and all this other stuff and trying to advance that career.
Mm-hmm.
My mom used to always buy me cameras and camcorders and all this other stuff.
Oh.
So now I'm like, oh, I have to fund it myself. So I'm just like, I try to get the best that I can or a little bit more. But that's one of the Black women hobbies that I like to do, is taking pictures. That's not something I would like to make money from just yet, but I actually like just taking pictures. Also, I got
Mm-hmm.
what is it, the iPhone, whatever, the Max Pro, whatever the latest one is. So this one takes good camera photos
Yeah,
as
it
well.
takes really good photos. I find that for me, cameras are expensive, man. It's
They
like
are. That's
they're not something you can just go out and say, "Hey, I want this camera with the best quality." And again, with a
mm-hmm.
cell phone, you really don't have to know, you know, how well the camera, performs, or
Right.
the zoom and all this other stuff, because it's all baked in, right? But if you go and
Mm-hmm.
buy a really professional camera,
You
you
have to
have
learn
to
that.
know how to select the lens that's going to do certain things, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that would get kind of costly for me. I think I'm into more like the handheld technologies, like the cell phones,
Yeah.
GoPros, those kind of things when it comes to like shooting something.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not much of a photographer because I don't like pictures of myself, period.
And see, like I like taking pictures of like nature. So like
Yeah.
anybody listening, if y'all come to Georgia, they have so many nature walks and
Hmm.
hills, mountains, everything you can climb up. And when I say the views are great and they are so beautiful, I've been on one and this guy was like flying a drone off of one of the I think it was it in Sony? I don't know exactly where it was, but it was Stone Mountain.
Mm.
And the guy just flew a drone off of it. I was like, when Jennifer, when you come here, I'm like, we have to either we should go hiking
Oh yeah.
or go somewhere like that because it's a nice area, but as long as it's not too hot.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's going to be around July, so it probably is going to be a bit hot, but I still would go.
Okay.
It take us some water, we'll be good.
Right. So, well, as the time goes on, everybody on the podcast, so we're taking trips. So Jennifer's going to come to Georgia, and we're going to record in person so y'all can see us, and this will be cool. So we'll take trips like this every now and then, probably
Yeah.
possibly. And then also one thing we do kind of say, well, we're going to incorporate is possibly taking, like, if we go on trips, taking pictures and just uploading them and talk about our time at trips and try to include y'all in some trip ideas and just
Mm-hmm.
let y'all know what's going on in the world of Jennifer and Courtney. Y'all can
So you
join
can
us.
follow along with us and join us. We'll
Yes.
have some good clips for you.
So then you can also help build both of our be like you can be part of our family. And also we want you to just take part in all of our endeavors. We support you guys as much as y'all support us.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but other than that, so I do have a question. When you talk about hobbies and like the handhelds, what are some of so you said was it GoPro?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So would you use that on like a scooter or you use that on like just like running? Would you use that like if you were going on a run, or how do you
Oh,
GoPros work? Because
oh man, GoPro is basically for a whole lot of things. People use it when they're hiking,
okay.
because what you do is it's a small enough camera. I mean, it's teeny tiny. You can get them tinier, you can get them a little bit bigger, but it has like a strap that you put around your chest, and you can wear it on the front of you. So everything that you're seeing, you don't have to use your hands to point
Okay.
this camera to do it. It just goes along with you. You
Okay.
have mountain bikers that use them. People use it when they're running. If they're Some of the people who are Instagram um
Like the
I guess,
followers.
influencers or
Yeah.
whatever they call those guys.
Yeah.
They use them a lot of times to do some of their stories when they're doing things or doing their shorts.
Okay.
I want it specifically for running
Okay.
because when I'm running, I don't pull my phone out. Now, my husband, when he's cycling, a lot of times he'll pull out his phone from the back of his, his jersey and he'll take a
Mhm.
little video, but I'm not crafty enough to be doing two things at one time. So I don't like to pull out my phone when I'm driving. Number one, it's a Max, so it's pretty
Yeah.
big.
Yeah.
If I had that thing strapped on,
It's
I
just the
could
easy.
basically talk and film at the same time.
Yeah. Cause some of the so when we're here, we'll go on like walks and stuff outside at like some of the parkways I was just talking about.
Yeah.
And I'll see like it's people on scooters and they'll have like one of those on their helmet. And I'm like, oh, so
Yeah.
they're recording everything they see. And I'm like, okay, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Because out there you have like the nature and the birds and
Yep.
it's like it's a very nice area, you guys.
Mm-hmm.
So I would definitely say GoPros would be a good thing. Like she said, like going hiking and stuff like that.
Yeah, you
Okay.
should use some of that drone footage too. If you're comfortable in flying it, you could use some
And,
of that drone footage as well.
and see, I've been practicing flying it, and I'm just like in the backyard, in the house. So I'm like, if I can fly it in through the house and outside in the backyard, I can
Yeah.
fly it anywhere.
Yeah.
So I
They're
am
difficult. I would never try to fly one. I think it would be tore up in a day.
Well, see, I'm not even gonna tell a story. This is the second one I didn't had. The first one I tore up the wings. Like, I mean, they broke off. I even
Oh no.
tried to fix them because they come with like a toolkit. So I was like, oh, I can fix it. Jennifer, it broke in a place where I could not fix it.
Oh no.
So it was trash. I
Those
couldn't
things
even
aren't cheap either.
And they weren't, but look, I did get the cheaper ones, like a
Mhm.
cheaper one, so I can just like practice on it. But
Yeah.
I was like, well, we're gonna see what happens. So,
Yeah. Yeah, we should take it up there. I mean, I've seen people, put videos on YouTube that has amazing footage from those drones.
and see, that's what I want to do. That's what it's what is it? This guy that lives here in Atlanta. Actually, it's women too, but they have like the drones and they're like flying them in the sky and on the Georgia skyline. And it's
Hmm.
beautiful. Just like you said, it's very,
Yeah.
very beautiful.
Yeah.
It, it gives you the serene, and it's sometimes like they'll play like the nice music in the background, and it's just like, wow, that's where I live.
Yeah.
Like, like that's actually what I said. I was like, oh wow, that's this area. So
So how does I've never had a drone. I'd like to
mhm.
have one. I just be afraid to fly it, way up. Does it have what kind of camera does it have in it? Is it built into the drone or do you put something in there for the camera?
So there's two different types. You can have one that detaches and then you have one that's already built into the drone. So I have the one that detaches it. So
Hmm.
right now I can fly it without the camera. But the other one that is attached to it, those are a little bit more expensive. Like you have ones that's like 5K that look just like
Hmm.
on your TV. Like they have ones that's the UKA. That now those about $500. Okay. Uh,
Yeah.
the one I have is about $50 or less. So I got
Oh, okay.
like the cheaper one, so I can if it tears up, I'm not gonna be lost, like too much. But like the ones
So
I'm
if you bought a GoPro, you could attach it onto one of these things, or does it have to be made for that drone?
it has to be made for it because like the
Oh,
one that I have, it has like the connection to the drone, like it's the camera and it has like a little like wire and it connects to the drone, and then that connects to
oh,
my
okay.
Bluetooth on my phone.
Hmm.
So,
Interesting.
but yeah, that's why
Yeah.
like, when you said something about that, I'm like, yeah, I could tell you about them. I could tell you how to fly them, all of that. But I
Yeah.
am just like, I do want better pictures, but right now I need to I can't invest in myself if I haven't like if I don't feel comfortable flying something that's $50 just yet. Because I have to feel
Right.
comfortable flying something that is $200. And if it gets tore
Hmm.
up, I'm gonna be
Yeah.
like, $200 is down the drain, and I don't like wasting money. So
No, I don't either. I'll get me one for $50 and fly and get
yeah,
used to it, get
yeah,
crafty with it, and then upgrade to something like that. That would have to be
yeah.
a treat for me.
Definitely. That's what I'm saying. Like that's something I have to save for. That's one thing for me. I
Mm-hmm.
will save if it's something that is a big purchase. I usually save for it because I'm just like, yeah, no. Mm, uh,
Yeah, well, it has to be an investment for me. It's
yeah.
going to have to be something that I know that I'm going to use quite often, something that I'm not
Mm-hmm.
just going to put on the shelf. So that means I'm going to have to fly that drone at least 3 times a week before I put $500 into it.
Exactly. That and see, that's what I said. I was
That's just
like,
me.
I'm just like, I gotta put my hands on it. If I'm spending $500 on it, I gotta put my hands on it at least every day. To practice,
Yeah.
I feel like to practice your craft or your hobby, you should do that at
Yeah.
least like you said, at least 3 to 4 times a week. Take some time out of your day to do that because it definitely does help. Like I'm not even gonna tell a story. One morning before work, because I knew what type of day I was gonna have, I was like,
Mhm.
I went outside and float and actually played with the drone for like 10 minutes. And I went to work and I was so happy because I was just like, ain't nothing y'all can say to me today. because
Yeah.
because I was
Yeah.
just like, I already knew. So sometimes having those hobbies,
Well,
if you
sounds
can
like I need a drone though, because I don't ever have those moments
like it just
where
made
I'm going to work and I'm like, y'all can't bother me because they always bother me.
because it was just a moment of okay, I'm in control of this flying thing that's in the air that is
Hmm.
pretty cool and neat. I can take pictures of it. So I was just like, hey, that's why I said, and then like sometimes if you work out before work, that helps too. You get your
Well,
adrenaline
yeah, that
pumping.
does. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
That that helps a
I guess it's
lot.
the same concept. You go out and fly that before you go to work. The same thing with
Yeah.
working out. I don't have either. I'm at work so early. I don't have
What?
time to. I mean, I guess I shouldn't make excuses. I should probably maybe get up 30 minutes a little earlier, find something I need to do just to,
I'm gonna say,
decompress and
yeah,
before
you
I go to
could do
work.
like what is it? You could run on the treadmill for like 20 minutes or something. Cause well,
Ah,
20 to 30 minutes possibly. Like to just get your endorphins going. But that's
mm.
kind of early too. But
I'm
yeah.
thinking more like a meditation, maybe if I'm
Okay.
going like
Okay.
30 minutes or 15 minutes before. That
That
might be a little
works.
better than getting on the treadmill, considering that I come home and take a run after work, which is great because I think I need it more after work than before.
Look, I agree with that because that's what sometimes I know some people say they wake up in the morning and they stretch too. So that would
Hmm.
definitely be good. As it do breathing exercises and just yeah. Hmm.
Hmm.
I can see that. Because that's what so when I used to work for a lab company, LabCorp, well, so we won't say no names, but when I used to work for in the lab, I actually used to wake up in the morning and go to the gym. But now in the morning, I just wake up and take the dogs out, and I'm just like, okay. I get my mental together. When I'm outside. I just think about usually I don't think about what I need to do for work. I just am just like, okay, release your mind. That's it. Whatever
Hmm.
happens today is going to happen. It's not in your control. And
Yep.
I just go about my day because I'm like, I can't stress about other people that don't know what's going on or just things I can't control. So I'm just like
Hmm.
that and that's the way I feel like I also live my life is like I it's out of my hands. Like I can't control what's going on. So but I can control how much self-love I give myself. So that's
Oh
why I'm
yeah,
like
absolutely.
definitely is one of the things that I definitely agree as we talk more and more about it. I'm like self-love comes in different forms. Definitely.
It absolutely does. It absolutely does, for sure. And I still think some people, navigate this day-to-day thing, and this work thing without having that self-love. And it
Mhm.
just it can begin to get wearing. I mean, and it could cause health
Definitely.
concerns,
Yeah.
high
Yeah.
blood pressure, you're taking these things, you're, getting angry at work, you're coming home, you're hustling and
Hmm.
bustling at home. Because as a mother, and as a father, it's a second job coming home and having kids.
Yeah.
You have to make sure they're taken care of, and that's not a bad thing. You're going to take care of your family, right? But it's just
Hmm.
that's the added thing that you have after your 9 to 5 or your 8 to 5, whatever you do for your hours. It's a second job. It's extra
Yeah.
time. So
That's why
you
when
need
you
to make
said,
time to just like reflect and say, okay, had a rough day today. What am I going to do for myself today? I mean, and also do the same thing in relationships.
hmm,
If you're in a relationship and you're having troubles in your relationship, you have to have some sort of time for yourself in order
yep,
to reflect on yourself.
definitely. And see, with that is like, for me, also doing this podcast is a way of self love. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I feel that this podcast actually helps me talk about things that's going on in the world, helps me understand research that's going on, talking to other people, hearing other people's sides of stories, um,
Mm-hmm.
and just being a part of a team that is something that is really near and dear to me. So that's why I'm like having this, I am like in love, in love with it. And I really
Yeah.
enjoy it. That's why I'm like, okay, this
Yeah.
is cool.
Yeah, it's refreshing for sure, because you have a lot of times some people don't have someone to talk to, and just listening to us and understanding some of the things we go through as well, that them
Mhm,
hearing it is refreshing for them too. So
mhm.
it's not only for just the people who are talking, but it's great for us because again, we do have that conversation that we can have about certain things that you can't have with anybody else. So
Yep.
it's definitely a outlet that is great, and
Yes.
I love doing as well.
Yeah. Look, so as we go on, um, today on Magnificently Black, we talk to you guys, and we're gonna listen with your comments and like and subscribe. Today we talked about self-love and just what are different ways of self-love. There is no one set way of self-love. We have Black women hobbies, whether it is doing technology stuff, going hiking, listening to music. We just want you to love on yourself. So, with that being said, any last words, Jennifer, before we head out?
Just to again take care of yourself, take that time to meditate, whatever it takes for you to have self-love, stay healthy, and be mindful of your journey.
Hmm. I love that. So for me, I'm going to say, like I said, we just going to say, love on yourself. Love, know when you need time to yourself. Learn that, and let also sometimes that means setting boundaries. That's the
Mm,
last thing I'll say. Sometimes it is setting boundaries, but
yes.
just find yourself and know what you need to make your heart, soul, and mind clean and just free and just being one. Okay, with that being said, we would like to say thank you for listening today. Peace. All right. Anything else, Jennifer? We good?
Bye.
Bye.
No, we good. Bye.
Like, comment, subscribe.